here, man, downstairs from my mama house, Let's Talk TV. We got my boy right here to the right of me. Introduce yourself, man.
My brother. My name is Rocky Peter, and I'm from Riverside, California. Inland Empire. Shout out to all the Inland Empire people. Yeah. So
how you doing, Rocco?
I'm well. I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me here today.
So you say you from Riverside?
Yes, I'm from Riverside, California. If you notice, I have a little accent.
I was gonna ask you about
Yeah. So I was born in Oklahoma, actually. I was raised in Nigeria, so I guess you could call me an African cowboy or something, you know, like.
Talk about shout out Nigeria, man.
Yep. Yeah. So.
We're going to jump into it, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us your story, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow, man. It's been quite a journey. So for those of you that watch American Idol, if you watch American Idol, you probably saw a little bit of my story. And, you know, I was born here in Oklahoma. I left. My father took me, my brothers, and my mother back to Nigeria when I was 2 years old. And he left us out there, abandoned us out there, and came right back to the United States. So we grew up in the streets. Man, Nigeria was just a learning experience, you know. I mean, you know, like we grew up eating food from trash cans, you know, as kids, just very poor, you know. Our village had no running water, so many times we had to drink water from potholes and to survive. But I got out of that, and I put myself through college, graduated from University of Riverside, California, got my degree in biological / biomedical sciences, and decided to, you know, chase my passion, which I've been working on since I was a kid. I've been chasing. I wrote my first song when I was 9 years old, and you know, I'm honored to finally be able to share it with people.
Man, we out here, man. So, what genre of music you are consider yourself?
I don't like to box myself into a particular genre.
Talk about it.
My belief about music is that if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad.
That's how, you know what I mean? Music is music, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
I'm more of a hip hop dude myself. What I want to jump into with you, man, is what was the difference from coming Nigeria out here to, you know what I mean, America, where we take a lot for granted that y'all might not have, you know what I mean?
It's so funny you asked that, you know. That's an interesting question. I remember one of my cultural shocks when I came out here. There was a guy, you know, I like to listen to people's story and be empathetic and sympathetic. And there's this guy that was telling me his story. He said, man, he had a hard life growing up. He grew up in America his whole life. And I asked him, so what's your story? He said, you know, when I was a kid, you know, I couldn't get the new video games. I had the old video games, and I forgot the names he was listing. He was listing all the names of the video games. I was like, dude, I still don't know the name of those games, first off. You know, my worries when I was a kid wasn't a video game. My worries was food and water, you know, like a lot of kids don't know, like, the value of walking into a room, flipping the switch and lights come on. You know, I didn't have that luxury. A lot of kids don't know the value of turning on a water faucet and water just comes out. Like, that's a massive luxury. And you know, I've done a lot of motivational speaking, you know, in high schools and middle schools, and I try to teach these kids, you know, take advantage of the opportunities you have in this country, because there are many people all over the world that do not have that
opportunity.
Yeah, so
that's a real topic to touch on, man. You know what I mean? A lot of us is what's the word I'm looking for, don't appreciate certain things we got out here in America, man. You need my boy right here, Rocky, telling y'all about himself. So, Rocky, what I really want to say is, I was trying to get more into, I see you on American Idol. Start off that. I looked that up. I checked it out, man. How was that experience?
Wow, it was an amazing experience. American Idol it's a great show. Too bad it's coming to its last season. You know, the people I met on the set were just amazing people. You know, when I got on the show, before I got on the show, we went through like preliminary audition process, and eventually when I got actually got told that, oh, you will be on TV. I was like, what? You know, like, and because they have a lot of cuts. Over 120,000 people audition each year. So to make it to that top 200 and something, it's hard, you know. So, and that top 200 and something, a combination of good singers and bad singers that get on TV, and you just don't know if you make the cut. So it was an honor to be on the show, and when I left the show, I thought I left a little prematurely because I made it far, but not as far as I wanted to. And you know, I had this dream since I was a kid that I wanted to change my mother's life. My mother has been poor since I was a kid. She's still poor. And I've just dreamt about giving her a better life my entire life. And I thought American Idol was the chance to do that. But when it ended, you know, it kind of shocked me, but I just took it and just was grateful for the blessings. And then what's crazy about that experience is when they chose me for the billboards, that blew my mind. You know, just to have random people send me pictures like, dude, I just saw you on the billboard at Staples Center, you know, like, it's crazy. And, you know, so, and it's just, for me, that was a message of never give up. You know, I think American Idol was trying to tell me, do not give up. And they were trying to tell a lot of people that believe in their dreams across the United States. You could see this kid that used to eat food from trash cans, you know, used to beg for food in the streets at age 6, age 5, and look at him now putting himself through college, chasing his dream, and they trying to tell people, do not give up on your own dream. And that was what that message came across to me.
Talk about it, my boy Rocky here, man. Don't give up on your dream. It's all possible, man. One thing I wanted to ask you because it stood out to me. I was watching you on American Idol, and they told you, we not sure if you what American Idol is looking for. Explain that a little bit with your style when people telling you they not sure if your style is what.
Well, I mean, like, that's one opinion out of a million.
Out of a million.
That's first off, you know, there are 3 judges, and they all appreciated my music. But Kit Auburn, who is a country artist, who also appreciated my music, was concerned if like American Idol is a platform to share my art. Because, you know, I don't know his reasons for saying that. He just didn't know. He said he was concerned if he didn't know if American Idol fans would be, you know, drawn into my style of music. And, you know, it's up to him to, you know, explain what he meant by that. But what I know is that from the stories I've heard from people in the streets when I sing some of my songs, just recently, if you go on Facebook and type Rocky Peters, someone posted something on my wall. I have 2 Facebook pages, a fan page and my regular page. And someone talked about how someone in his family died and someone had cancer, and just his life story, a snippet of his life story. And he said, when I listen to your music, it gives me hope. That's why I do music, for people like that. You know, I do music, you know, for people like my song Good Day, that's on iTunes and Spotify right now. So you guys can go download it, check it out. It's a really good song. The inspiration behind that is obviously my journey, but also for those people that have different type of problems, like diseases like cancer, that think like they cannot be happy or have hope or have a good day because of their problem. And for me, it's about sharing this message with them that there is always hope. You may not have a choice towards what happened to you, but you always have a choice to choose to be happy. How you choose to react to your problems is what matters than what happens to you.
That's my boy Roddy right there, man. And it's really a big deal coming from San Bernardino, making it on a place like American Idol. So that's talk about how hard it is to come from the city you come from, San Bernardino, man.
Wow, I mean, like, you know, I'm from the San Bernardino County, and you know, it's really hard because you don't have too many outlets to share art. There are just a few, not as much as, you know, LA or New York, or, you know, but I think that if you put yourself out there and just believe, and just, it's all about how bad do you want it. You know, like for me, I met so many great people just by picking up my guitar, walking down the street and talking to random people. Hey, how are you? you doing good today?
Yeah.
Would you like to hear a song? And you never know who you run into. And for me, I did it for the love. If you do something for the love and for the passion, anywhere you are, you will be successful. I mean, I started singing in Nigeria, you know, when I was a kid, and just, you know, in the villages, and a bunch of people would just gather and watch me sing and say, wow, like, that's crazy how he learned how to sing, you know. Like, I didn't have any musical influences in my family. I just know I love listening to music and love performing. And I felt like if I could touch people in that region who all they care about is eating, and they could stop everything they're doing and come watch me sing, it's like, you know, it's powerful. And so for me, I think there are a lot of great people here in Inland Empire. And, you know, if you just put yourself out there, for all the artists out there listening to me and watching, just keep putting yourself out there, and you just never know what will happen.
Never know, people. It's out here, man. Live your dream, chase your dream.
Yes.
A couple of more questions before I get out of here. I want to ask you, what's some of your influences in music? Who influenced you to?
One of my biggest influence is Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. There
Yes.
you go. That's my boy.
Bob Marley is just, you know, he's my hero. He, you know, just what he's done to music, you may not